Welcome back. In today's Money Watch, uncertainty is sweeping across Chinese markets as protests intensify over COVID restrictions and a record number of new infections. All major indices were down earlier today as traders watch to see how Beijing responds. Meantime, investors are selling stocks and currency, and foreign funds offloaded the most onshore China shares in about 3 weeks. More than 10,000 stainless steel cups and bottles from the Green Sprouts company are being recalled over a lead poisoning hazard. The company manufactures reusable baby products sold at retailers like Whole Foods and Bed Bath & Beyond. The recall applies to 6-ounce stainless steel sippy cups and the company's Sip and Straw cup. Tell your friends with kids. And gift returning could get extremely complicated this year for consumers hoping to get full returns. About 60% of retailers say they're making changes to their current policies. Dan Ackerman joins us now here live in Studio 57. He's the editorial director at CNET. And Dan, you were saying it's your first time in the building since COVID.
In this particular building, yeah, it's great to be back.
A warm welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
You've got your COVID beard all well and grown out there. So before we get to that, I do want to talk about this being Cyber Monday.
Yes.
Give us a rundown on what we need to do to get the best deals.
It's interesting. Cyber Monday is something they came up with where after Black Friday, you're back in the office, you're going to go online. I think the nice thing is people shouldn't have to worry too much about Black Friday the day, Cyber Monday of the day. Holiday sales start just after Halloween. They run through mid-December. It's not like a light switch that goes off and on. So don't feel rushed. Don't feel pressured to jump in and get something. You've really got some time there where these sales are going to stick around.
I like that bit of advice. But where will we find the biggest price cuts today or right now?
You know, you're going to find stuff from big places like Amazon and Best Buy on things that are sometimes big ticket items, like MacBooks have some really good discounts right now. The MacBook Air, Xbox Series S, the Meta Quest VR headset from Facebook, but also little stocking stuffer items like Roku sticks and the Amazon Echo Dot. Those are all like $25 instead of $50, but they're always on sale. I don't think anybody's ever paid full price for those. Yeah. So those are always on sale at some, level.
And there's another component to finding a deal, which is that you can sometimes add extensions to your browser. You can join things like Rakuten to get additional cash back on deals.
Price comparisons, price history. We have a CNET browser extension that does price comparisons for you and finds coupons. Oh. And then if I'm looking for something on Amazon, I go to a website called Camel that shows me price history so I can see if a sale is actually a sale or if the price used to be higher or they raised it just to discount it and call it a sale.
That is a really good hack because everyone calls things a sale and you're like, okay, it was the same price last week.
Retail
wasn't much as a sale. But what about the change in return policies? Because something folks do, especially now, is like they just hit the Amazon.coms and purchase, we'll send it back. What do they need to know about the change in some companies' return policies?
I mean, that's one way companies are saving a little bit of money. Instead of raising prices, they're kind of subtly increasing your other costs. So maybe you have to pay a return shipping fee, whereas before you didn't. And maybe that return window for holiday purchases, which used to be very generous, is getting just a little bit less generous. And, companies like Foot Locker and H&M and REI, they have subtle changes in giving you a little bit of a fee for returning stuff or charging you for the return shipping. And Amazon, the window is just a little bit short of when you can buy stuff you can return.
That's interesting. I know REI has usually had a very generous return policy as well as the credits you can earn during the year. So you really do need to read the fine print.
I mean, a lot of those people were doing a lot of online shopping during COVID, and that's great. We got you into that habit, but how do we not lose so much money on those generous return policies?
And so then what's the key advice for folks who may have already made purchases or they're about to, and how they can protect themselves against what may be some new red tape?
Don't just look at the return window, which for holiday season is still usually pretty generous. Look at the fine print and make sure if you return something, you don't have to pay return shipping or a restocking fee. And if you do, sometimes you can just go to the store and avoid that if you return something in person that you bought online.
What is the most interesting gift you're interested in that folks aren't thinking about?
Oh, that is, you know what? I'm ready to trade up my air fryer for one of the models with the 2 baskets because I've really outgrown the original one.
I saw the same thing yesterday. That way you can have your toast open and do the thing.
I can do my vegetables here, my tofu here, or whatever it is.
Love it. Dan Ackerman, great to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome back.
Thank
Happy
you.
holiday season to you as well.